Focus on age-appropriate programs,
Right.
and I'm not going to have a conversation.
You know what I
where you're
find
going to say
offensive?
that.
Corrupting kids.
Yeah.
We don't have our cameras up.
We are now calling the police.
I won't apologize on Friday, the 28th, when my conditions aren't all met. Then my probation officer, he will issue a breach and a warrant for my arrest, and it looks like I'll be going back to jail for a while.
All right, I am now joined by Pastor Derek Reimer, and today you applied for a variation of your conditions. I wasn't able to hear much of what happened in the courtroom because I was dealing with the alleged publication ban, but we'll get into that a bit later. Derek, why don't you tell us what happened in the courtroom today?
Yeah, so it's a variation of my conditions for the permission for me to work, and also, but this one was more highlighted, the apology letter admitting fault, admitting that I'm wrong, and going into a library and demonizing Drag Queen Story Hour and communicating my freedom of religion and speech and expression. They wanted me to apologize for that, and I won't apologize for it. And it was such a travesty of justice today. It was such an egregious display of behavior through this justice where she wouldn't even let me finish my submissions. She walked out halfway through my submissions. And when she came back, the Crown had his submissions, and I didn't even have an opportunity for rebuttal. I was writing down all of my kind of arguments and all of my comments, but she didn't want to hear me. And I asked her respectfully, like, do I have an opportunity to share the rest of my submissions? And she says, well, I've deemed them irrelevant, without even hearing everything that I had prepared for the last 2 months. So that's where we're at today. I won't apologize. On Friday, the 28th, when my conditions aren't all met, then my probation officer, he will issue a breach and a warrant for my arrest, and it looks like I'll be going back to jail for a while.
Well, we'll be following with that. You can follow along at savepastorderek.com. And once again, today's case is not being covered by TDF, but if you want to donate to Derek's other matters, please head to savepastorderek.com. And of course, that's where you can stay updated. So thank you, Derek, again so much, and we'll be following along with what happens next.
Final words.
Yeah, I just want to share with everybody that we can never apologize for doing the Lord's work. Light doesn't apologize to darkness. Christ doesn't apologize to the devil. And I'm not apologizing to a library manager that is protecting groomers and deciding to host those events in her library. This needs to be exposed. She needs to be held accountable, and she was via exposure and talking about it. So I thank you, Rebel, for exposing this, and everybody else that's been praying for us, supporting us financially, or just with moral support. Thank you, and the battle belongs to the Lord, and we're trusting Him in the process. God bless.
Once again, if you want to stay updated with all the events pertaining to Derek Reimer, please head to savepastorderek.com.